Day
healthcare,
1447.
keeping housing, keeping food, and they're putting vulnerable Americans in the worst possible situation. This
Sup.
right after they gave tax
Sup.
cuts to the billionaires. So this is yet another sign
Today,
of the chaos
Tuesday.
and
So
dysfunction in
I
this
had to
Republican
get up
Party.
far earlier than I
They
would have
not only
liked
can't do
today,
anything, they
as
certainly
I
won't do
had
anything that helps the
a
vast majority of American people. And
um
this is yet another example
need to
where
get them whiter, man.
they
That's what I
need
need to do.
their few
But yeah,
moderates
ugh,
remaining
need to
to
wash
sign
my hair
on
as
to
well.
a
That's all I
discharge
need to do.
petition that
But
all
yeah,
Democrats have signed on to.
obviously, I had
They
my
only need four,
CT
and they can then
appointment today.
send that bill directly to the floor.
Now,
It
in
would
the early hours of
extend
this morning,
subsidies,
and
and
I
we're
think
happy to
even a bit
discuss
of
with them
later hours of
a
yesterday,
way to
I was feeling
end
some
Obamacare
pain coming
system
along
so
in
it
my
is
side,
more
but not
efficient
on
and it
the
is more effective.
So you're, of course,
on the
referring to some of the more centrist members
what's the
among the
phrase
Republican
I'm
Party
looking
who have
for?
said, that they haven't ruled out working with the Democratic Party on this. We had House Speaker Mike Johnson saying that the leadership
I wasn't going to say
wasn't
main
able to
culprit
strike a deal
or the
with
main
those members.
offender, but
What are
something along
Democrats
those
going to
lines.
do to
Anywho,
get those
it wasn't the
Republicans on
usual
side?
suspect, shall we say.
Well, look, we've done everything
Of
we can.
my left
We
hand
made
side, it was
this
my
the
right hand
central
side. Now,
issue
this on my right,
of
I
the
haven't
shutdown
really been feeling
because
any pain,
the
but
Republicans are
I was
cutting,
feeling a
cutting,
little
cutting. They are
kind of
cutting
sharpish type of
ACA,
pain.
Obamacare
It wasn't
supplements. They
horrendous.
are
It didn't
cutting people
immobilize
off of
me
healthcare. We have
like I
made
had
this
been
the issue
immobilized
with us up
previously,
to
but it was
then
definitely
after
noticeable
the
and a
shutdown
little bit
ended
annoying
to
and
figure out a
concerning.
solution here if
Um,
they didn't want to take
don't
the
know.
fall
I
on
mean,
anything.
I'm assuming there's a
We
kidney
have a
stone over in
discharge
that
petition
side.
that is well
But yeah, I don't know if
documented
it's been moving about
in
or
the
maybe I was
House. I
just
don't know if the
leaning
vote
up on
has the
it
Senate.
and it
So
was
the
just a kind of
reality is this
residual
is all the
pain. I don't
Republicans
know.
and Donald
But
Trump, and they are going to be
yeah,
responsible
so that was
for
in the early
millions of
hours of this
Americans
morning.
lose health
Managed to get some
care
sleep, not
and
much.
our
Woke up
entire healthcare
earlier than I
system
would
will
have liked.
therefore start
Got
to crumble
sorted, got
because
washed,
many
changed, all of that
health
jazz,
centers will have to
and
close,
then
many departments of hospitals will have
I
to
took an
close,
Uber
many
to the
people's
place,
jobs will be
which
lost.
was
This
not
is going to
super
have a
close.
massive
Uber
sprawling
wise, it
impact
took me about
around the country
33
on the
minutes to
entire
get there,
healthcare system.
which, it isn't
Congressman,
super
I also
long,
wanted
but
to ask you about the
would have been
briefing
nice if
today
it was
on
closer.
workplace rights.
Cost me
The Leader Banks bill, which
£24 as
places then
well,
Secretary
which
Pete Hegseth and Secretary of State
in all honesty
Marco
is better than
Rubio.
what I would have paid,
Speaker Johnson came out
because
of that
before
saying the information was very
Uber was
helpful
my first
and
port of
that the
call,
president
telling me
has the
£28.
legal
I was
authority
like,
to conduct
get
strikes
lost,
on boats
piss
in the
off.
Caribbean and Pacific.
Not
What is
happening.
your take on this?
Well, I've
But
actually
then
reviewed
it's due to the
the
time, so I had to be
memorandum
there. My
that
appointment was
was prepared
9:30,
by the
and I
Office of
think
Legal
I
Counsel
was
of the
calling my
Department of
Uber
Justice.
maybe at 20 past
It's
8,
embarrassing, in
which
my
is
opinion.
obviously
It does
still
not
during rush
support
hour,
at
busy
all
times.
the actions
Obviously, there's
that
going to be
this
surges.
administration is
You know what?
taking
Actually, I might.
off the coast of
You know what?
Venezuela,
Let me actually
and
check
that's
it
separate
now.
and apart
Obviously,
from
oh,
what
damn
seems
it.
to be a clearly illegal double
Hello,
tap, where a second
hello.
shot was fired
Phone's
to
dead.
kill two
Damn it.
people who remained on a
I'm
already
gonna.
struck boat.
I'm gonna
And
check.
even the first
I'm
one
actually gonna check.
is
I bet you it'll
unjustified. We
probably be,
learned
if
nothing
I were to
more
check it,
today.
obviously now's probably
It
not the
was
best time to check
kind of
it.
embarrassing,
Probably be
to
better
be
if I maybe
honest.
check
And
it
the reality is that
maybe
this
before
administration has
8
not shown
tomorrow,
it
or maybe
has the
after
legal
10.
authority
Yeah, maybe
at
after 10 might
all
be better.
to be doing
But I
anything that it is
reckon,
doing in
so it's,
Venezuela.
yeah, about
And what is
£24,
clear
I think.
is, and the White House Chief
I
of Staff
reckon I'd probably get
very
it down to
admitted in
between
an
maybe
article
12 and
today
15.
that they are trying to
If I check
remove
tomorrow,
Nicolas
I'll bet
Maduro
you.
from
But
being the
needs
president
must, because
through
obviously I'd never been to the
these
place. Again,
military
it
actions.
wasn't up by my
And
local hospital. It
while
was
Mr.
one
Maduro
next place
is
where they
in
do
office,
diagnostics,
I
so
think
CT
illegally and
scans and I
improperly,
guess MRIs and stuff.
because the actual winner of the
But yeah, got
election is
there in
not
good
in office.
time. It was fine.
That is not something
Went
that
in.
Congress has authorized. That is not
Now,
something that the American
I
people
kind of
have
hope I can
supported.
leave a
This is
review,
just
because
Donald Trump
typically
deciding to do
when you
whatever
go to
he wants to
hospitals and
do
stuff, you'll
without
get a
following the
notification
law.
maybe like the
And
same
we
day,
are going
maybe
to
even a day
pass a
after,
war
saying,
powers
"Oh, how was your
authorization
experience?
bill.
Let us know."
I expect
I
this
really
week
would like to leave a
to
review, because I
require
got
the
there. There
president
was
to
this
seek
flipping
Congress's approval before
idiot
doing
man
anything more.
who was sitting down
Congressman Dan
by
Goldman, thank you
the
so much for
reception
joining us
part,
this evening on BBC News. We very much
and
appreciate your time.
I thought, let me get my letter out, just so I got it
Turning
ready,
to
just,
the UK,
in
where
case they're like,
Rolls-Royce
"Oh yeah,
is
can we see your
intending for
letter?"
more
So I
than
thought, let me get the letter out ready, got the
21
letter in my
years
hand. I
after
go
he
up and I'm like,
collapsed
"Oh,
in
right, so I've got
Glasgow,
a
Liverpool Football
an appointment at 9:30, and I have the letter in my hand, and I'm kind of gesturing to him, and he looks down at mine, and he sees the letter, and he's like, oh yeah, no, just go take a seat, and you'll be called when they're ready. So I was like, oh, okay, so I don't need to check in or anything. And then I was thinking, oh, well, yeah, I guess so, because the appointment's been made for me, so they're obviously expecting me. I guess maybe they operate under the assumption that, well, unless you tell us you're not coming, we're going to assume that you're here. And then I went to go sit down, and, you know, there were already a few people there. It wasn't like a massive waiting area. There's maybe about 8 or 10 people there. And, you know, one by one, I saw, you know, I don't know, doctors, nurses, practitioners, I don't know, but just coming in, saying a person's name and then calling them through. Went on for a bit. Eventually, like about 20 minutes passed, half an hour passed, 45 minutes passed. And, you know, I'm thinking, oh, well, you know, maybe they're just busy. You know, they're running behind. Or maybe, much like A&E, they operate on a kind of priority basis. So whichever one is deemed to be more of a priority, they're the ones that will go first, and then they kind of, you know, it trickles down. But eventually, time started to drag on a little bit, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, and then also because I saw other people start coming in, and then I saw people who were coming in after me who were then being called. And I was like, okay, it could still be that priority thing, but oh no, it's... Because then eventually it got to the point where it was, I think, literally just me waiting in the waiting room. And I was like, they could be behind, it could be a priority thing, but this seems a little bit too coincidental. And then, what was I saying? What am I even saying? Oh yeah, there were people coming in, and oh, sorry, one thing I forgot to add. There was, when I came to the reception, it was just that flipping idiot, man. There was like another part of the reception, but I guess that person was doing their own stuff. I think it was closed off because they kept on redirecting the people to the other part of reception. So at that part, it was literally just the guy, and then maybe 20 minutes later or so, I saw there was a lady that came and joined him, who also a receptionist. Maybe she was on a break or whatever. But yeah, when people were coming in, and they were, this man, he was clearly content to do nothing. I saw he was sitting in front of his Microsoft Outlook, by the looks of it, just staring at emails, just chilling. I'm pretty sure he was on his phone, just not doing nothing, you know. So people were coming in, they were seeing this lady who'd come back, and they were, when they said, oh yeah, I'm here for an appointment, they would hand her their letter, same one that I had, tells you, you know, where it is, what time, what procedure you're having. They handed the letter to her, and then she would do something on the computer, hand it back, and then told them to take a seat. So I observed this anywhere from a couple to a few times. And initially I wrote it off, but then as time started to progress, I was like, should this man have taken my letter? And I thought, you know what, let me just chill for now. I'll give it some more time. I'll give it an hour. So my appointment was at 9:30. I got there like 10 minutes early. I thought, you know, let me wait until 10:30. If I'm not called by 10:30, I'm gonna go up and check. 10:30 came, no call. I go up and I speak with this woman. I'm like, sorry, excuse me, do you have any idea on when I'm gonna be getting called? Because like my appointment was 9:30. She's like, oh, what's your name? Gave her my name, and she was like, oh, yeah, no, you I think she said something like, oh, have you been clocked in or registered? What's the word I'm looking for? Have you been like signed in, basically, something to that effect? And I was like, and then this is when I started gesturing to my man sitting in the corner. I was like, well, you know, I came and I said to the guy, and I presented my letter, and he just told me to go and take a seat. And she was like, oh, no, you should have been like signed in. And then she started to clock that this man had cocked up, and I think he came over and he looked at me, and then he had this kind of sheepish look on his face, and then he apologized, and he said something to the effect of, oh yeah, well, yeah, like she was away, and she was the one that needed to like sign you in or register your attendance. And I can't even remember what I said to him, but I know, I think I did say a little something. I was still relatively polite, but I think you could visibly see that I was a bit irritated. And I was just thinking to myself, well, brother, if you knew that was the case, why didn't you let me know? This man told me, oh yeah, it's fine, go sit down and you will be called. That's it. You work at reception, obviously I'm going to trust what you're saying. My bad, clearly. So, yeah, man, so then I think she makes a call and to whoever in the CT department said, oh, yeah, sorry, the 9:30 appointment is here. Is it possible to send him through? He wasn't, fortunately, he wasn't signed in, and he's been waiting for a while. Yes, I have. Then, yeah, she apologised some more. And I was like, this flipping big-head idiot, man. Like, bro, what? Useless people, you know, and this is the problem. There are useless people in almost every job, and it gets scary, concerning. Well, actually, no, scary is probably a better word, but it gets concerned. I should have other way around. It gets concerning and scary, even scarier, when you consider that there are useless people that work in some very important professions. Now, granted, obviously, he was only at reception, not to say that people at reception can't cock things up massively and make big errors, but when you think of people that work in the police force, useless people that work there, people that work for the fire brigade, useless people, oh my lord, that would be horrendous. But people that work in the medical profession, and I'm not even talking about receptionists, because, yeah, that is what it is. I'm talking more nurses and doctors. Just the thought that you have people who are probably potentially that useless as this man, who are working in very serious positions. Scary, like terrifying, you know? But anywho, that was my annoyance. And the thing is, I was thinking, you know, the CT scan would have been... I've already been for a CT scan, but I was expecting, you know, it might have been a prolonged thing. I might sit down with a doctor. They might administer the contrast to me. Because when I was back in A&E, they did a CT scan, couldn't pick anything up. So they said, right, we're going to give you contrast to see if we can see it better. So I went in there and I asked, oh, are you going to be giving me contrast? And the dude's like, no. And he seemed quite knowledgeable, and he kind of explained why. And that giving the contrast, apparently it wouldn't really show up super clear, which kind of threw me a bit, because it seemed to be the complete opposite of what happened when I went into A&E. I had no contrast, they couldn't see anything, and then they gave me contrast and they were able to see stuff. So I don't know. Clearly they are trained individuals. They know more than me, I would assume. But yeah, so I was probably in and out in maybe under 10 minutes with the CT scan. And then, yeah, I was on my way, and I explored the area. Got to see, it's quite interesting. I had a little walk around, and it was almost like going back down memory lane, because I was seeing, obviously I was out, it was in the morning obviously, and I don't really get out to venture throughout the world during the mornings, usually, but in this area that I was in, they had like loads of stalls out, and you know, people, so I remember I used to go with my mum to like certain places, and you know, people would have stalls out and they'd be selling like clothes or snacks, crisps, chocolates, drinks, food items, soap, all of that type of stuff. I remember going out to some of these, you know, market stalls. It was really, it just made me reminisce, man. It gave me this proper homely throwback reminiscent feeling, if that's a good way to describe it, which it probably isn't, but it just really took me back, and just, it was a warming, calming, reminiscent feeling, man. Yeah. And further on, because I heard this dude who was clearly using a microphone, it's basically this big old, I can't even call it a stall, it was like off the back of a truck. So imagine like a huge, and it was set up as like a stage, and it was basically just all about toys. So this man was just basically selling toys for basement bargain prices. Yeah, and he was like, oh, so we've got this it's new toy, selling in Hamleys, £90. And I'm not even going to sell it to you for £90. What I'm going to do, I'm going to throw this in. This thing's worth 15. This other thing is worth 15. I'm not even going to sell it to you for 100, 90, not 70, not 60, not even 40. I'm going to give it for you for £20, £20. And people were going mad, bruv. People were going mad. People, I felt like I was watching a film. Like, people fully putting their hands up, waving cash around. You're like, right. And he had like a helper. He was like, right, mate, can you, yeah, person down there, £20. It's an absolute steal. Your child will love you at Christmas. Absolutely love you. I filmed some of it as well, actually. It's quite something to behold. It was quite fun to watch. But yeah, man. So did that, and then I headed back home. I popped into the shops on the way back, picked up a few bits. And then, yeah, just been chilling, man. Chilling like a villain. Time, yeah, we're good. We got just under half an hour left, so we're cool. Yeah, when I got back home, I was just relaxing, man. I was feeling a bit tired, so I think I nodded off a little bit. But yeah, I've just been relaxing. Tuesday, so I did double check. The money has not dropped. I let Mr. Middleman know that the money hasn't dropped. Yeah, so he reacted to that. He was like, oh, noted. So I'm guessing he's probably got onto his lot. The dude, solicitor dude. I won't get him tomorrow. I'm hoping he'll get me tomorrow. He probably won't. If I don't hear anything, then I'll message him on Thursday and see where we're at. But yeah, I'm not even bloody holding my hopes up. I'm not even getting my hopes up or holding out. Because I'm sure it'll just be more disappointment. Whoopee. But anywho, that's basically it. Crypto market is pretty dismal. Certain things have fallen off even more, man. It's, yeah, not good, but I don't have money, so I should count my blessings. What I don't want to see, as I've said before, is have no money and then the market just starts ripping. I need to be getting in whilst it's like this, so this money needs to hurry the flip up. Like, seriously. But yeah, anywho.
Growth is slowing down. That is by far the biggest spending for most American households.
Gonna leave it there. It's day 1447. I will catch you tomorrow for day 1448.
I also wanted to ask you briefly about this